It's 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Game Week 30 deadline stream. It has been ages since I streamed, ages since we had an FPL deadline. I've enjoyed the international break. My wildcard is active. My wildcard's been active since I think the Sunday. I think I activated on Sunday night after the knee-jerk stream. Maybe Monday. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, I felt like my team needed it, and absolutely it did need it in the end because I had Chris Wood, Haaland, Utara, although Utara might play now. But either way, like I had to play Anderson and Mikalenko. It wasn't pretty, so I had to wildcard. I'm not completely set on a draft, but I'm getting there. I don't think I can afford to go for Mateta. I think I've got to go for Evan Nielsen or João Pedro. It's not ideal, but I feel like that's the only player I'm really missing. I don't think there's anyone else, so I'm kind of okay with it. Draft League, drop Haaland for Nicholas Jackson, Solanke. Probably Jackson, I guess. You should have done the reveal thing. It's very entertaining watching people freak out. The only reason I haven't done that is because I'm not set, because I've also got this draft as well. This is the Mateta draft. I just don't like it. I just don't think I like it at all. Verbruggen in goal, which isn't that bad compared to Martinez if I bench boost 32. But there's potential for Villa to have a double game week in 36, so having Martinez there would be quite nice. Palmer's locked in because he's got good fixtures and he's a good route to Saka later on, basically. And we're not worried Moreno might play at some point. I mean, it could happen, but have a look at when the last time Nico Williams was benched was. It was game week 14. He's pretty nailed. It could happen. I think if Moreno's not going to play, it's probably game week 30. Sorry, if Nico Williams isn't going to play, it's probably game week 30 because he's just played in the FA Cup. It's midweek and Moreno can't play against Villa. But Forest is still going for obviously Champions League, and he's been pretty nailed. Like it's a slight worry. The question is it worth spending 0.4 million to get Milenkovic? I could just go for someone like Dunk or Van Heck just for bench boost 32. But if Man City lose to Forest in the FA Cup, then Nico Williams might be all right later on. I wouldn't be going Luka Dean. I'm probably bench boosting in 32. I do have the money. I've got 0.8 million in the bank. I do have the money to go from Nico Williams to Kushnov, and then I've probably pronounced that wrong, and then bench boost 33, but I'm just not completely convinced by his minutes. Same team, but NW to Konza, Murphy to Savinho, Evan Nielsen to João Pedro, bench João Pedro this week, and possibly Savinho to Murphy next week. Yeah, I don't see the point in booking those kind of transfers in. Like either start with Savinho or start with Murphy. Like, you know there's going to be a double for Newcastle. I can't see any reason to wildcard now not to have 3 Newcastle players in place. I think it's okay to book transfers later on for the double in 33, but I wouldn't do it for Newcastle players. I'm not... The reason that I've not put Konza instead of Nico Williams is because I've got Martinez in goal. And I kind of want to leave the option open to do Jacob Murphy to Rodgers in 33 and Isak to Watkins. So I can only have one other Villa player, and I've got Martinez. I'm really not completely sure on goalkeepers. Like I could go for Raya and Pope, and then instead of Murphy go for Rodgers, and then go for Konza instead of Nico Williams. That could work. Maybe. The only slight concern is, will Rodgers get rotated for the Southampton game? Like, he seems like an absolute machine, just plays every single game. But how much am I willing to bet on that? And also, having Konza or Martinez in 33 doesn't really help anyway, because I would play Gabriel, Raya, Munoz, and Vardio anyway. How can I not have Bruno Fernandes? I've not considered Bruno Fernandes for wildcard once, to be honest with you. On wildcard, but got Clive at 5.6. He's now 6.3. Worth going to Savinho and losing value because he's a doubt. Don't have enough for Foden. I mean, do you think he's going to do well after this week? If you do, you could keep him for value, but I think it's okay to sell him, to be honest. Like, you're only losing the value if you want to buy him back. If you don't put him on your wildcard, you're not buying him back anytime soon. Will 90 months. Do you like Rodgers and Trippier better, or Savinho and Livramento? I mean, for safety in minutes, probably Rodgers and Trippier. I'm not convinced that Trippier is worth that money. Oh, my front door's gone. I forgot to... hang on, I'm back in 2 secs. Locked my son out of the house. Forgot to unlock it before I started streaming. So that was a big mistake. Best Barco replacements. What? This isn't game week 2. I already have Konza and Martinez, so couldn't get Watkins. Could have no Konza. Yeah, exactly. So same situation as me. You can play it however you want. I'd probably go... If you want to leave the Watkins route open, then Savinho and Livramento is better, right? Start 2 of Vissa, Rodgers, or Utara. I think I'd start Utara at this point. And Vissa, probably. Bench 1, Bruno or Vissa. Probably Vissa. Vissa to ease that bench Bruno, have Aino. Or sell Hall for a defender and bench Aino and play Bruno. Oh my god. Bench 1, Bruno or Vissa. Vissa I mean, getting Isak seems pretty good to me. Getting Isak seems pretty good. Buy one this week, Eze or Isak. Isak. Is it okay to do bench boost now? Yes, if your bench is good. Especially if you've got lots of chips to play later on. like your free hit and stuff, like you say. Captain this week, probably Salah for me. There's a little bit of temptation to go for Marmoush. But I guess Salah is the absolute safe pick, right? Any news if Saka's starting? Nope. Not that I've seen so far. First Man City game with the kids. Enjoy. Bournemouth 18th. Oh, okay. When do you think I'll know to book flights from Ireland? Longer I wait, more expensive it gets. United fan. Ouch. I don't know. Is the honest answer. Because of the FA Cup, is it? I guess you'd have to wait until the FA Cup semi-final is played, right? Is that before Game Week 35, I think? Thoughts on Edison Timber as a combination over Ray Vardio? I just think that Edison and Timber is way riskier than Ray Vardio for minutes. And I'm not sure it's more attacking either, to be honest with you. Why go for bench boost in 32? Isn't 33 better with more double game week players? Yes, but there's only likely to be 4 teams doubling in 33. So that's only 12 double game week players maximum. And so you'd basically have to have 3 single game week players regardless. Now one of them's probably Salah, who would be in your 11. So you could have 2 double game week players on the bench, but that's the maximum. And I think when you look at it, a lot of people's benches just look better in 32, or at least close to being as good. Am I sleeping on Asensio? Not really. Like, can you guarantee he's going to start every week? I would say probably not. Thoughts on Kepa or Verbruggen? Verbruggen's probably better for bench boost 32, but Kepa might have a double later on, potentially. Like after 33. So it's quite close. I'm not sure which way I would go. I guess Kepa for the hope of an extra fixture later on. For Kepa to double in 36, you would need... Who is it? I can't remember now. Man City to beat Forest in the FA Cup, and for the Premier League to pull that fixture from 37 to 36. I was planning on wildcarding next game week, but now need a -4 to take care of Haaland. Maybe better wildcard now. Today is my birthday. Give me the happy birthday. Yeah, if you need a wildcard. Like, lots of people have got issues now all of a sudden. So I think it's fine to pop your wildcard even if you weren't planning it, as long as you've got an idea of kind of half what you want it to look like. Thoughts on wildcard draft 59, Edison, Areola. I'm not completely convinced by Edison. I know I had him in a draft at one point. I wouldn't put it past Pep just to play Ortega. Howson, Burn, Palmer, Salah. I wouldn't go Semenyo either. He's on 9 yellow cards. If he picks up one more, he's going to miss 2 games. Otherwise, it looks okay. Rory, 9 months. Am I tempted to get Saka for Palmer and save a transfer? Not really. Maybe if we get a leak that Saka is definitely starting, I'd consider it. But I still think I'm just going to go for Palmer. I don't know, actually. If we get a leak that Saka starts, maybe I should just go there straight away. Because I guess it's not a guarantee that Palmer's going to start, but I think he will. Haven't looked at anything. Why wildcard this week? My team just needed it. I didn't have any Palace players. I had to play like 2 of Mikalenko and Henderson, and they got terrible fixtures. I had Pickford in goal as well. Utara, who I didn't think was going to start, now he probably is going to start, but then I've lost out on Wood injury, Haaland injury. I might as well just get Salah back at this point. Like, it was just... I mean, some of that happened after I wildcarded, but I think I needed it anyway. Is it crazy to go Bruno over Foden on wildcard 30? Will allow me to do Gordon to Saka in bench boost 33. Will United double again later sometime? No, Man United won't double as far as I know. Bruno's not a great option on wildcard, to be honest with you. The fixtures are not great over the next 3. Like, he's never going to be terrible, but like, if you want to leave the route open to Saka, then do it. But I think Foden's probably the better pick. Although Foden's not completely nailed, even with Haaland missing out. Mateta is fit, yeah. When shall I use my assistant manager and on who? I quite like Glasner 31 to 33, or at least for 32 and 33. The only thing is, Palace have got good players, so you could go triple Palace players and pick a different assistant manager. Maybe someone like... I'm going to be honest with you, I've not thought about assistant manager hardly at all. What's the name I'm trying to pull out of the air here? I can't. Unai Emery, maybe. Forest at home 31, Southampton away 32, Dublin 33 possibly. Might be okay. Is the Forest game table bonus as well? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the Forest game's table bonus, and it's at home. So I quite like Emery if you want to go for three Palace players. I wildcard Saka in for Palmer. Should I reverse it? I don't know. Do you want Palmer or Saka? I mean, I'm probably going to start with Palmer, but if Saka starts, like, it's okay to start with him as well. Like, you probably are going to want Saka by 33, so it depends whether you want to save the transfer or not. Couldn't the Bournemouth front four be Alex Scott number 10, Utara off the left, Semenyo on the right, and Evan Nielsen up front? I guess so. Presumably Brooks will play, though, somewhere. I would guess the front four will be some combination of Semenyo, Evan Nielsen, Brooks, and Utara. Prioritise Sarr over Mateta, and Nketiah could get minutes. I mean, Kamada could get minutes as well, right? And Sarr can miss out. But I think Mateta's mostly fine. The only reason I don't have him is team value. If I could afford it, I would. Raya, Martinez, Gabriel, Vardiol, Munoz, Konza, Livramento, Salah, Foden, Saka, Murphy, Sarr, Mateta, Moosh, Isak. Thoughts? Looks good. Like, the reality is, you're probably not gonna build a bad wild card, because essentially if you're targeting the doubles in 33, there's only a certain amount of teams, therefore there's only a certain amount of players. So any combination you can come up with is probably okay. Alisson or Kepa, probably Kepa. I don't hate Alisson though. The fixtures aren't bad. They don't blank in 34. If you've not got a free hit, maybe Alisson. But Kepa won't blank either though. Yeah, I quite like Kepa for the money saving. Estepinian wildcard 30, bench boost 32. I don't mind it, but Brighton fans, has Estepinian been as attacking recently? I don't know if he's as attacking under Hertzler as he was under De Zerbi. He does take some set pieces though. Martin, thanks. Transfer out Cliverton for who, or start Alanga? Alanga's probably okay, but you could, I mean, it depends how much money you've got, right? You could transfer out Clivert for a Crystal Palace midfielder who's going to be good for you later on as well. Nobody's talking about Foden on wildcard. Quite a few people are talking about Foden, but most of us just can't afford him. Can we see the draft that you're likely to go with? It's probably this one. It's probably this one. Eze or Sarr, if money didn't matter. Probably Eze, but there's really not that much in it. And money always matters. Foden over Palmer not getting talked about. But do you really think Foden's better? What's better about Foden than Palmer? Bearing in mind, most people with Palmer are going to switch to Saka. So what's better about Foden 30 to 32? How come Evan Nielsen over João Pedro? I'm actually a little bit torn on that. I'm not quite sure what to do. João Pedro pros, he's got penalties, and he's got a better fixture in 32. He's got Leicester at home. Evan Nielsen's got Fulham at home. But Evan Nielsen does have Ipswich this week, which is better than what João Pedro's got. And also, there is a chance that Bournemouth could double later on, whereas João Pedro, there's no chance. But if that double happens, it's not until game week 36. It's like 7 game weeks away. So does that really matter? I think it's a really close call. I was on João Pedro earlier, now I'm on Evan Nielsen. I don't know. Clive out Semenyo. I wouldn't go Semenyo. Or is there a better 6.1 million midfielder, Minter, Rogers, Asensio? I'd go Crystal Palace if you haven't got Sarr. If you've got Sarr, I probably wouldn't go Minter. He probably will start, but he just played like 120 minutes in the cup. Rogers is on 8 yellow cards. I wouldn't go Asensio. I don't think he's nailed enough personally. I could be wrong. Rogers is probably okay, as long as he doesn't get benched against Southampton. I wouldn't. Semenyo's on 9 yellows. I'd avoid him. Murphy, if you haven't got 3 Newcastle. On wildcard, start Saka or bench for Murphy. Honestly, I think if I was going to go with Saka, I'd probably start him and hope for the best. Not convinced he will start, though. Why Williams over Konza? Because I want to get Watkins and Rogers, probably. Murphy over Rogers and Evan Nielsen over João Pedro. Confident Palace will beat Villa. I got no idea. Well, I think it's going to be a close game, but I don't think my picks have... I haven't made my picks based on who I think will win in that game. That makes sense. If you had the cash, would you go for Mateta Semenyo over Sarr, Evan Nilsson? No, I don't think so. I don't really want Semenyo. I think you sacrifice a lot, Williams, Murphy, to have Palmer. The thing is, Williams, who else? Like, okay, let's say I've got another 2 million to spend. Who'd you go to from Williams? Murphy, fair enough. You go to Gordon, but why is no one considering bench boost 32, free hit 33? I mean, what's the benefits of doing that? Would be my question back to you. Most people that are free hit 34 will, in theory, have 10 double game weekers and Salah. So the free hit doesn't really benefit you unless there's suddenly a lot of, let's say Marmoush is not starting regularly, and so you can go and free hit De Bruyne in or Foden. It just doesn't feel worth it. And free hit 34 just lets you manage that blank. Like, that's been the plan for quite a while now. It could have changed based on fixtures and doubles and stuff like that. Like if Bournemouth had won, actually no, if Bournemouth had won, I would have still free hit 34. Where did I get to? I wildcarded this week because my desired draft was exactly my team rally. Got Van Heck as my defender from Brighton. Nice. Also got João Pedro. Nice. Yeah, I think João Pedro is a good pick. And Ruta is potentially out for the season. And so João Pedro's minutes are pretty good. I honestly think it's really close between João Pedro and Evan Nilsson. Start 2 from Kluivert, Dango, and Rodgers. Probably Rutara and Kluivert. Just hope for the best. And hopefully if Kluivert's not, if he's a doubt, it'd probably be out of the squad completely, I would hope. And then Rodgers would just come on. City father again. So Man City semi-final match, roughly 28th of April. Match might be brought to midweek 14th of May. Potentially. But I couldn't tell you that for sure. All we've got to go on is that West Ham put an article out saying that if Forest got to the final, their match might be brought forward. They didn't even guarantee it. So will Man City have to do the same? We just don't know. I think you can probably assume it will. But also Man City might lose to Forest. Saka news. He's available. That's about it, really. I don't have free hit, but I've got triple captain and bench boost. When do you think I should use my wild card? If your team looks pretty good at the moment and you can cope with 32 and 33 through transfers, probably 34. Picking player seems very difficult because of the break of the FA Cup and international teams if you're kind of like a fresh start from the break. Yeah, it did feel a bit rusty when I started recording videos again. I kind of like, I like the, what's the word? The routine of making videos. Once I have an international break, I completely switch off, especially this one. It was just pointless thinking about it. Why don't you take Edison over Raya and go for Gabriel and Saliba? I think Raya and Vardio is better than Edison and Saliba. I don't think there's much debate about that. What about Asensio on a wildcard? No one's speaking about him. I just don't know if he's nailed. That's the problem. I don't think he is. I think week to week you're going to be wondering if he's going to start. I suspect he will start more than he doesn't. But I just don't think he's worth... Like, as much as it's boring, Rodgers is probably the best Villa midfielder to go for. Like, the guy's a machine, just plays every week. JK, thanks. Swap, keep Kluivert with 8.3 million. I think Kluivert can be sold if you've got the spare transfer. Like, don't get me wrong, he's still a pretty good long-term pick. If you've got a decent bench, you could keep him, but I think it's okay to sell him. You missed my super chat, John. I don't know. It must have been pretty early. I don't see any. No, can't see any. Oh, sorry, yeah. With Palmer and Kluivert doubts, would you take a -4 to move Kluivert to Sarr or Murphy, or Palmer to Saka, or just trust one will start? I think Palmer will be okay, so I'd move Kluivert. Oh, sorry, no. If you can just bench Kluivert and play Palmer, I would do that. But yeah, I think Palmer will be okay. I don't have any options on the bench and wondered. I don't have any options on the bench and wondered if I should take a hit to bring in Isak as Kluivert is injured and chance of not playing. Do I take a hit to guarantee a start or risk Kluivert? A hit. I mean, to be honest, you're going to want Isak soon anyway, so I'd be tempted to take the hit in your case. What would be the appropriate number of hits? There's never a number to give for that. Like, how many hits do you need is the better question. Not on wildcard, but would you take a hit to trade out Kluivert? I've got Beto on the bench. A hit to not play Beto. No, I think I would just play Kluivert and just let Beto come off if you need to. Can you once again mention the upcoming doubles? Well, nothing's guaranteed, but it's probably going to be it's definitely Newcastle Palace double in 32, and then probably Arsenal Palace Man City Villa doubles in 33. City's defense has been terrible this season. Yeah, not been great. What other City defenders are options? I wouldn't go for Rico Lewis. The only other defender I'd probably look at over Vardiol is Ruben Dias. Like even Kusanov, he got brought off at half. He was on a yellow card, I think, but he got brought off at half time against Bournemouth, and they brought on was it O'Reilly, I think, left back. So even he at 5 million, I'm just not sure I would risk right now. Ruben Dias at 5.4. You don't want Triple City for the double game week. I don't think it's necessarily needed, because if I'm not bench boosting, though, I only need 10 double game week of players to go with Salah. So I don't have to have 3 City. Like, hopefully, if all goes to plan, my double game week 33 team will be Raya in goal, Gabriel Munoz Vardiol back 3, Eze, Sarr, Salah, Saka, and Rodgers midfield, and then Watkins and Marmoush up front. 10 double game weekers with Salah. Like, which Man City player would upgrade? Sorry, which Man City player would be an improvement on those players? And if the answer is Foden, that's a lot more money. Why not 3 City? For the exact reasons I just mentioned. Now, if you're bench boosting in 33 and you want to try and get three from each team, it's a bit different, but I'm probably going to just bench boost in 32. Bench 1, Bruno, Semenyo, Palmer, but you can't bench Semenyo against Ipswich. Palmer, I think you've got to play as well. So Bowen is... I want to say he's away to Wolves. Yeah, away to Wolves. I'd play Fernandez probably and bench Bowen. 7 million budget, already got 3 Newcastle and 3 Palace after a new midfielder to replace Kluivert. Great question. Rodgers, maybe? He's not great for this week. A midfielder that's not Palace or Newcastle that's good this week. 7 million. There ain't many. Mitoma got Leicester in 32. There ain't many options, I don't think. Free hit 34 locked in. Planning on bench boost in 32, 33. So that forces manager token to 35. Which manager do we fancy for the final run? I've not looked at it. I'm going to be completely honest. I've not looked, so I don't know. And I can't go and work it out now. But if you're planning on bench boosting then, you just figure it out later, right? Because you're going to have no other choice but to use your assistant manager then. So you might as well wait and see what the table bonus is like, because that could have an effect on who you use. So I'm just going to be honest, I do not know who to use it on 35 or later. Rashford, but obviously there will be options. Rashford punt, again, just don't think he's nailed enough. Was benched the last 2 league games. Start Murphy or João Pedro. João Pedro for me, like 100%. Any benefit choosing Timber over Gabriel to save money? Well, it saves you money, which might be useful, but I think you just go Gabriel for safety. I've got similar wildcard, only one doubt, Mateta and Kluivert, who's a doubt, or Evan Nielsen and Eze. I wouldn't have Kluivert on a wildcard. Thoughts on Doku? Just not nailed enough. What? Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I don't know if anyone has noticed this, but it's a midweek game week, but not every game is on TV. So the only one tonight is Forest Man United. The only one tomorrow is Liverpool Everton. Then on Thursday you got Chelsea Spurs. Is it safe to say that banking transfers after you bench boosted and wildcard is going to be key? Yes, because we've potentially got another double and blank to deal with later on. Who am I picking for captain? Probably Salah. There is like I said earlier, there is a part of me that kind of wants to go for Marmoush, but I don't know if I've got it in me to back against Salah. I 100% I would have gone Haaland if Haaland was fit. I would have backed against Salah. I'm not sure if I'm willing to do it with Marmoush, but it is Leicester. There's a little part of me tempted to do it, but like, would I be doing it if we hadn't had that international break? Would I even be considering it? It's almost like I've forgotten how much of a beating Salah has given to people. I love how recent points changes people. Like, I can't believe I'm getting questions. Why would you pick Palmer over Bruno? Can you imagine if people had asked me that like 4 months ago? Do you think you will get Forest leaks Chris Wood before the deadline? I would not hope for Chris Wood starting. It did not sound like he was going to be close to being ready for Game Week 30, in my opinion, from what Nuno said. But I don't expect we'll get leaks, no. I have a decent Game Week 30 team and all chips except assistant manager. What order would you play them in? What weeks? Well, it depends how your team looks next week, right? Probably wildcard 31, free hit 34, bench boost 33 or 32. Nico O'Reilly punt for Man City. It's just too risky, isn't it? How much is he? Like, it looks great right now because he came on and did well, but like, he might just not start the next game. He's not. And also he's listed as a midfielder. Savinho and Mateta versus Eze and Evan Nielsen for bench boost 33. I mean, specifically for the bench boost 33, it's Savinho and Mateta, right? Because they got double game week, whereas Evan Nielsen doesn't. And you hope Savinho starts both. Is that likely to happen? We'll have to wait and see. Gaurav. Gaurav, I think I've pronounced the first time wrong. Planning to do Izak, Palmer, Murphy to Watkins, Saka, Rodgers. Yeah, I think that's moves everyone's going to be looking at. Honestly, the fixtures for the doubles and the injury to Harden has just made things so boring. So the plan to do Izak, Palmer to Murphy to Watkins, Saka, Rodgers, exactly the same as my plan. Maybe a transfer for Livramento too. No Bournemouth this game we can issue. I don't think it's a massive issue to have no Bournemouth. I think it's okay. Like, you've got Mateta or I've got Evan Nielsen. Like, that's absolutely fine. Why Palmer over Bruno? Why Bruno over Palmer? Honestly, apart from the fact he scored 17 points last game, what makes you think that Bruno is the better option? Stumbled on a wildcard draft that gives me 12 doublers plus triple Liverpool away to Leicester on Game Week 33 bench boost. Loving life. Nice. I mean, who is that? That's obviously Salah. I mean, Connor Bradley would be nice if we knew he was going to be fit by then, but it's a bit risky. I'm a little bit tempted by Marmoush captain. I might do it. But I might not. Keep Henderson, Bruno, or buy Ray Sarr or Eze. Ray and Sarr is better longer term, yeah. Because you got the extra doubles. Like, Bruno won't double. Got Palmer and Clive at start and only Castagna on the bench fit. Would you do a transfer for one or both of them? I mean, we haven't had a press conference, right? So it might be that tomorrow Maresca says Palmer's still out, but he's been spotted in training, so I'm hoping he'll be fine. So I don't think you need to transfer both of them. Would your current wildcard draft change much with no free hit? So the honest answer is I have a free hit, so I've not considered what my team would look like without one. But my gut instinct is probably not massively, because I would still want to target all the double game weekers, especially like the Palace and Newcastle ones in 32. Like, I would definitely... Like, I'd probably change... Like, Nico Williams, I don't know what fixture he's even got in Game Week 34. Don't know if it's good or not. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's Brentford, isn't it? Yeah, anyway, I'd probably make sure that like that cheap defender spot, Nico Williams, was a good player for 34, and I'd probably be less likely to sell my Newcastle players because they got Ipswich at home in 34. Wildcard this week, ready for the doubles. Have free hit bench boost triple captain. What do you think would be the best strategy? Does any of the news change potential plans? Not really. I mean, your free hit's almost certainly going to be using 34 if you're wildcarding this week. Triple captain 32 or 33, and then bench boosting the other one. Maybe triple captain later on in 36 could be viable if there's doubles, but we don't know that yet. I mean, bench boost 32 and then triple captain Marmoush or Saka in the double could work. If you're not comfortable doing that, then you could bench boost 33 and triple captain Isak, I guess, in 32. On wildcard, is Gordon over Murphy and Martinez over Kepa worth it? Oh, sorry. Gordon to Murphy and Martinez to Kepa worth it to upgrade Kluivert to Foden? I'm not sure it is. Did you not just do Kluivert to Savinho and hope for the best? Starting 11, please. You'd need to show me your team. But like for my team, I mean it's pretty obvious, no? Who I would bench. I think the first 11 basically picks itself. Should be fairly obvious from that draft you see on screen which 4 players are getting benched, right? I give you a clue. It's not Gabriel or my defenders playing Leicester or Southampton. Luka Dean over Konza. Why or why not? Luka Dean is just not completely nailed. Like Konza's very boring, but at least he's going to play. Go Semenyo now. If he gets but then hope Kluivert is back and just save a transfer him in or a double game week player. I wouldn't put Semenyo on wildcard if that's what you're asking. I wouldn't buy. Like, there's no way I'd buy Semenyo right now. It's too risky. Like he could do really well against Ipswich, but he could also just get yellow carded, and that would be annoying. Which keeper to keep options open for bench boost 32 or 33? I don't think there's many with good fixtures in both. Like Raya, like basically, I guess you want a double game week. So it's Martinez is pretty good. Southampton away in 32, and then a double in 33. Raya is not Fulham at home. Is it Brentford at home in 32? Yeah, Brentford at home and a double in 33. Edison I wouldn't do. Henderson's got doublers in both 32 and 33 probably. Have your exact wildcard and 0.9 million left. Upgrades to do. I've got 0.8 million left. I'm probably just going to leave it. I genuinely don't know where the upgrades are. Like, there's no one to go from Evan Nielsen for just 0.8. Isak and Marmoush are locked. Sarr, Eze and Murphy are in for double game weeks. You've already got Salah, so there's no upgrade from Palmer. Liveramento's in for the double, so are Raya and Martinez. Vardiel's in for the double, so's Gabriel. And Munoz is in for the double too. So it's only Nico Williams. And I'm not convinced there's a much better player for 0.8 million more. Nico Williams to a Liverpool defender. Yeah, maybe. But where is it? Liverpool. Kanate he's 5.2. So that is affordable, I guess. But bearing in mind, Nico Williams not being played this week. So it'll be Kanate against West Ham at home in 32. It's okay. Like, you don't have to spend all the money, I guess. You can save it for later. There's always something that might be needed later on. Yeah, but Dizazi's not, like, in terms of price, he's not an upgrade. Mikalenko, Kluivert, Palmer, which will start? I mean, Mikalenko will probably start. Palmer will probably start. Kluivert, I'm less sure about. Omar, 27 months, thank you. If I would play 2 out of these 4, who do I choose? Livermento or Murphy or Sarr or Munoz? Sarr and Munoz. Easy. Should I keep Bowen or transfer him out? I think Bowen's fine this week, but I think longer term you could probably get some double game week midfielders in instead. Why Livermento over Burn? Burn's on 8 yellow cards, and I don't know if Burn's that much more attacking either. Like, it's a close call. If you want to go Burn because you need the money, like, it's absolutely fine. Watkins, Sarr or Mateta Rogers? Probably Mateta Rogers right now. Start Ray or Edison. Edison if you got him. Why no Mateta? I just can't afford him. Like, this is my Mateta draft. Yeah, this is my Mateta draft. I just think there's too many sacrifices. Like, Verbruggen instead of Martinez, Dunk instead of Nico Williams. Dunk and Nico Williams is not that much different, to be honest with you. Then it's trusting that Savinho will play. The annoying thing is, having Savinho and Mateta means I don't need to do Murphy to Rodgers, but I can't afford to go Konza instead of Dunk or Martinez instead of Verbruggen. It's just annoying. So I think I'm just going to go without Mateta and absolutely hate it. Like Mateta, Savinho versus Evan Nielsen, Eze. Mateta takes penalties. My hope is that Mateta will lose some minutes to Nketiah, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen as much as I need it to happen. I can see Mateta getting subbed after his hat trick against Southampton. I could go back to No Munoz. I did have drafts with Mateta, Sarr, and Eze originally, but I got to be honest with you. It's at this point, it's so long since I built one of those drafts. I can't even remember what it would really look like right now. I guess we put Palmer in. Eze would obviously go in because it would be triple attack. Munoz would go. Murphy, I suppose, here. Let's have a look. Jacob. And then 13.4 million for 4 more defenders. It's not great. Dunk. I guess it's Dunk, Konza, and someone else, like for Bruggen or something. I mean, I'd love to go Luka Dean, but I wouldn't trust him. 4.8, so I could just go Kepa or someone. That's like triple attack. I just don't like it. I don't think it's fine. I just quite like this draft. Like the only player I'm missing is Mateta, and if he's going to ruin my season again, so be it. I guess. Why is Clive flagged? Irradiated just said he was a doubt. Any leaks on Marmoush starting today? The match is tomorrow, so probably not. Honestly, with Haaland out, if you're still worried about Marmoush, you probably just shouldn't be buying him. Would you have Trippier over Livramento Burn if money, no issue? If money's legit, never going to be a problem for you, then yes. But I really don't think it's worth it for most people. If you do Saka for Palmer, any plan with the extra 0.6? Again, not really. Like, if I do Palmer... No, wait, hang on a second. Yeah, if I do Palmer to Saka, that gives me... I don't want to play around with this too much. I should have played around with it on the other draft. I'm going to mess this up. 1.4 million. It's still not enough to go... Actually, hang on. Hang on a second. If I go for Mateta, I would have to get rid of Eze. 6.3 million. See, this is the problem, right? So then I would go to Rodgers. Probably. Shane Clivert's not an option. So Rodgers, Saka, Mateta is... I've got 0.8 in the bank. So Rodgers, Saka, Mateta is the same cost as Eze, Palmer, Evan Nielsen. But then I'm playing Rodgers or Murphy this week. It just feels a bit rubbish. Instead of playing Eze and Evan Nielsen, like, that just feels nicer to me. Yeah, Savinho. Yeah, Savinho, actually. That's a good point. Yeah, sorry. It would probably be Savinho. But then that's basically just this draft. That's just this draft, but with Martinez and Nico Williams over Dunk and Verbruggen. Yeah, triple Palace attack. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it if that's what you want to do. I just quite like Munoz. Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to prefer this one because it's got Mateta, and everyone thinks that Mateta's essential. But I don't know. I kind of want to start with Palmer. Like, unless we get a leak that Saka's starting, there's no way I'm going to risk it. No way. If we do get a leak, then it gets more difficult. Kluivert's a doubt. He's not definitely out. You don't think Eze's worth the outlay? He's 6.7 million. He's hardly like Salah money. Maybe an overdue question, but how do I check team value? Well, if you want to check your selling value, just untick every player basically. Or if you want to just see what your team value is, I think it says it on the main pick my team page right at the bottom right. Rate my wildcard. Raya, Kepa, Vardy. Yeah, all the same players that most people have got. Looks good. Assistant manager, Crystal Palace 31 to 33. Free hit 34. Bench was 36. Looks great. Foden, Saka 33. Great. You could have Mateta instead of Watkins and go for Unai Emery, assistant manager, if you wanted to, but either way works. If you do Saka for... Oh, yeah, did that one. Would you... Yeah, did that one. Yeah, but no players there in your team that I would say are bad at all, especially if you're doing Foden Saka 33. I guess the only thing to say is Foden will have a double that week, so it won't feel great to take him out. Saka won't start from an Arsenal fan. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of white bread, but and I also think Saka won't start. Vedat, I probably pronounced that incorrectly. I apologise if that is the case. I have Raya in sales in goalkeeper and one vacancy in defence with 4.9 million. Should I downgrade Raya? No. And bring in Cucurella? No. Or go for a defender under 4.9. I don't trust Villa and Brighton's defence, so Conjure and Dunk are out of the question for me. 4.9 million. I mean, it depends. What like Howson could be good, but it depends. Do you need them for bench boost in a particular week? Like, yeah, Howson could be quite nice. I'm trying to think who's under 4.9. Or a Newcastle defender if you don't already have triple up. Haaland to Isak or Mateta? Isak, I think. Is Watkins risky on wildcard with PSG either side of Southampton? A little bit risky. I think I definitely prefer booking a transfer for Isak to Watkins than starting with Watkins. Because I just think Marmoush Isak's pretty good and you've only got one more spot. Mateta's good. Connor Bradley's not a bad shout, but I don't know if he's definitely going to start. I would predict Kwanzaa to start this week. What does my team look like? It's on screen. How do I get this Mateta draft to look better? 0.2 million in the bank. So I could go Dunk to Nico Williams. I don't know. Is Nico Williams actually better? I just don't think I would want double. It's probably actually something like this. Henderson in goal. Instead of Munoz. And then like a Konza. Something like that. That gives me 0.5 million to spend as well. Actually, I could start with Rodgers and get Dan Burn instead of Konza or Nico Williams. I could just get Rodgers in later. But that would save me a transfer. The problem is I've not looked at that enough. I just don't think I like it. Which do you prefer? Foden, Murphy, Agbadou / Sofal or Savinho, Gordon, Nico Williams, bench boost 33. For bench boost 33, probably. Oof. Don't know if I like any of them. I guess the one with Foden. But for surely both of them are better for 32, no? Saka will do less minutes than previously thanks to Ethan Nwaneri. Ethan Nwaneri can't even get into the team when Marino's playing number 9, so I'm not sure about that. He probably will have a few less minutes, but I think that's more because of the injury, not because of Wanieri. Yeah, that draft's okay, I guess. I'd have to go Dan Burn. That's probably all right. Dan Burn and Rodgers both on 8 yellow cards, though. Then you've got 1, 2, Isak to Watkins 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just don't think I like it as much. Then I'm playing Konza in the double. I'm playing Konza in the double game week 33 instead of Munoz then. I mean, Munoz is not great that week, but he's not awful. I just don't think I like the Mateta draft. It's just really reliant on Savinho. And Savinho could... There's part of me that thinks, well, Savinho's just a really nice punt. Stop worrying about it. Like, the fixtures are pretty good. I just think this draft is better. I do like Pope instead of Martinez. Worth it Trippier over Livramento if I can afford. I think I would just save the money, honestly, for a rainy day. If you want to go with Trippier, I wouldn't talk you out of it. Saka and Savinho or Foden and Eze. Probably Foden and Eze for now and then get Saka later. Jorgensen, Trent. Oh my God. House and if Gabriel, Rodgers, Palmer, Salah, Semenyo, Isak, Watkins, Beto. Bench boost 33, free hit 34, 2 free transfer. Have you got a wild card? Because if you have, I would wild card that. Otherwise, you probably start taking some hits, right? Like Trent needs to go. So get a Palace or Newcastle defender in ready for 32. I guess preferably Palace if you're bench boosting 33. Jorgensen's not first choice goalkeeper, so he needs to go as well. Saka and Sevilla. I did that one. Thoughts on Hall to Minars for -4 or play Robinson instead, not a wild card? I mean, preferably you don't take the -4, but if you're going to have to take a -4 at some point anyway, I would just get it done this week when he's playing Southampton. Eze and Timber or Sarr and Gabriel? Sarr and Gabriel. I think Timber could end up being a really good pick, but Ben White is just there. And if Ben White plays, Timber could play left back. But maybe he just plays White and Lewis Skelly one week. I just think Gabriel, you take the security. Best second City defender is probably Ruben Dias, I would say. Should we triple up on Man City versus Leicester? It does feel a bit wrong to not be tripled up on Man City versus Leicester when you're on a wild card, but it is kind of tricky to get that third Man City player. I mean, that's kind of where Savinho comes in, right? I mean, now I'm just constantly playing around with this. I could do Pope for Martinez. I actually don't mind the Raya Pope combination, by the way. Instead of oh no, that's too much money in it. 5.9. Yeah. I thought I could get out to Savinho, but I can't. And also, if I do that, who am I going to bench? This is the problem. Like, it's great to have 3 City, but then I've got a bench like Evan Nielsen against Ipswich or Eze and Sarr against Southampton. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Yeah, it's not worth it, I don't think. Stop fighting it. It's boring as hell, but I'm just going to have to go for it. Go for the very boring draft. Like, wildcards are just going to look so similar. What's positive about holding your money and not spend? Again, if you can give me a good place to spend 0.8 million, I'm up for discussing whether it's worth it. What time's the deadline? 6:15 UK time. My draft has Bruno in instead of Palmer. I know Man United aren't reliable, but can't seem to let go of him. What would you advise me to do? I prefer Palmer to Bruno. There is a price difference, though, to be fair. I just think the fixtures aren't great. They're not terrible, but they're not great. Wildcard, Raya, Areola, Gabriel, Munoz, Vardy, 2.2 million short of this. What down? Probably Foden. Out of all those, Foden to someone else. I mean, you could just go boring like Fernandez or Mbermo, or just go all the way down to Savinho if you really want a Man City player. On wildcard, Gordon or Murphy, Saka for 33 or Saka now? Gordon, I think, if you can bench him this week. Because you'd want him for the double in 32. Wildcards only look similar for all the poor people. Yeah, but if you've got a lot of team value, the main difference is you've probably got Mateta. He's not exactly a massive differential, is he? And then maybe you've got Foden, I guess. Who else have you got that's like super exciting if you've got more money? Like if you're super loaded, you've got Mateta instead of Evan-Nielsen, Gordon instead of Murphy, and then Foden in there somewhere. But I highly doubt people have got that much money. Like I know Praz has pretty much got a similar team, but he's got Mateta instead of Evan-Nielsen and Foden somewhere in there as well as Palmer and Salah. But Mateta's the main one. I've said this a lot this year. He's the one player I'm worried about compared to like every other player. And it's just going to be a big swing somewhere, and it might be him, and I might be on the wrong side of it again. This is to Mateta for a -4? Probably not. What are your planned transfers with this wildcard? Isak to Watkins and Murphy to Rodgers and Palmer to Saka. Palace won't keep any clean sheets in their double game week. You could be right, yeah. You're also trying to save up cash for Saka in 33. No, because Palmer's more expensive than him. I'm on bench boost 32. Considering Edison, probably not. I have considered him, but I don't see me going there. Tips: Saka, Salah, Sarr, Eze, defender, Gabriel, Kirkes, Vardio, attack, Marmoush, Isak, Mateta, and goalkeeper, Raya, bench, Murphy, Livramento, Konza, Martinez. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. How happy am I with my fantasy team this season so far? I'm not. I'm like nearly 300k. Best 4.1 million defender, Agbadu. Yes, I think so. If you can stretch to 4.2 and you're on bench boost 32, then Dunk's not bad as well. You have 0.8 million left. Why not take out Williams for Kirkes? Okay, so Kirkes I wouldn't play this week. So a big advantage. And also, I sold Kirkes. So I had money tied up in him and I sold him. So that's also going to be pretty annoying. But yeah, I'd bench him this week. So I'm losing a bit of the value. Then it's 32 Fulham at home. 34 doesn't matter because I'm free hitting. So then he's coming back to Arsenal away, Villa at home, Man City away. Now he might double in 36. So potentially he could be okay. But yeah, it's not a bad shout. I think for me, I'm just not. I don't know if I'm super convinced that Kirkes is definitely going to be needed later on. And he's 5. I can't actually afford him. He's 5.3 million. So the conversation's pointless anyway. But yeah, if I hadn't sold him, then I'd be able to afford him. Why Sarr over Eze? I've got both of them. But Sarr just for value mostly. Are you ever imagining yourself winning a fantasy team league? Not really. Like 10 odd million people that start this game every year. Why not Kepa over Martinez? Potential double in 36. Martinez also has a potential double in 36 though, and Southampton away in 32 and a double in 33. If I wanted to pivot to bench boost 33. This is not necessarily my final draft, no. Thoughts on Areola, Dunk, Dizazi, and Isak? Bench boost 32 allows 3 City attack, Foden, Savinho, Marmoush. Also allows Saka on the bench this week. Yeah, Isak wouldn't be on your bench in 32. Like you got to be realistic. Areola's not great, but for value purposes, it's okay. The other two are fine. But let's not pretend Isak will be on your bench. Matt's Rari for bench boost 33. Who have Man United got that week? They're not doubling. Wolves at home. Not bad, I guess, yeah, for a single game week player. How good are Man United longer term, though? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Bournemouth away, Brentford. Not bad. Yeah, Matsura's probably okay for the price. Start one of Rashford or Murphy. Probably Murphy because I know he's going to start. Or at least I'm pretty confident. Who do you think is on penalties for Forest if Wood and Gibbs-White are not playing? I don't know. Is the honest answer. I'm not sure. I don't know. Probably one of the players that took first 5 in the penalty shootout, I guess. But like most of the time, Gibbs-White's going to be on the pitch. Hudson-Odoi potentially, yeah. If he's on the pitch. Bench one, Vissa, Semenyo, or Kluivert. Probably Kluivert. I always struggle with players like Kluivert because they're doubts, but it's a good fixture. He's not guaranteed that he'll be out of the squad. He could be on the bench and come on. But Vissa, you know, is going to play. I guess I'd play Kluivert and just hope that he's not in the squad if he's not going to play. -4 to get Marmouchian for Haaland saving wildcard 31. It depends how many other benefits there are for saving wildcard 31. If you can just make a bunch of other upgrades this week, then I'd just wildcard this week. But also, if you haven't thought about it very much, maybe you should just take the -4. Why not Mateta over Evan Nielsen? Because he's about 2 million more. I've got Haaland, Wood, and Kluivert, no transfers, no significant bench. Take a hit, roll, or what? I mean, that sounds like wildcard territory to me. Semenyo, Savinho, Rodgers, order for transfer in. Probably Savinho, then Rodgers, then Semenyo. Start Rodgers or Kluivert. Again, probably Kluivert and just hope that he's not in the squad if he's not going to play. Maddison is 100% going under the radar. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants Maddison. Like he hasn't started 3 of the last 4 games. I'm on wildcard. Who to replace for Kluivert? Same price. Savinho maybe. Eze, Sarr, Murphy, Rodgers. Is it okay to play 4 at the back or gamble on Palmer who could get... I would definitely play Palmer over playing 4 at the back. Why wouldn't you play Kirkers against Ipswich at home? Because I'd have to bench one of Gabriel, Vardy or Munoz. Thoughts on Bruno Fernandes? He's okay to keep. I wouldn't buy him. For economic reasons, I had to go with Carwell and Sells. Nice. My team is in great shape for this. When else would be good to play wildcard? Potentially next week. If you got free hit. If you haven't got free hit, maybe 34. Why not more Forest with their fixtures? Are their fixtures that good? Also, who would you buy? Chris Wood's injured. They haven't got doubles. They probably haven't got doubles anyway. Does the wildcard transfer roll? You don't get a transfer the week you wildcard. The week after wildcard, you have as many transfers as you had at the time you wildcarded, if that makes sense. So if you had 2, then you wildcarded, you'll have 2 the week after. Am I worried about being stuck with a 5 million second goalkeeper after game week 33? Not if he doubles in 36. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like I've got goalkeepers wrong. I'm not fully confident that Martinez is the right pick. Like, I'm really not. Like, I wonder if Kepa is a better pick. Because in 32, he's got Fulham at home. And then he might double later on. No, I don't see me going Sells. Not for that much money. I think if I'm going to swap Martinez, I want to go cheaper. Yeah, Henderson, but then I've got to get rid of Munoz. And I'm not sure I want to do that. Areola is better because he might double. Yeah, Areola might double in 36. But for Areola to double, you need Forest to beat Man City in the FA Cup, which could happen. But that's what you need to happen. But the thing is, if you go Areola, that pushes you to bench boost 33, not 34. Sorry, not 32. So then I've got to change other players as well, and I'm just not convinced it's fully worth it. Like for this draft, let's just say I go... Let me just go Areola. Then I would definitely go Konza instead of Nico Williams because I'd want him for bench boost 33. And then... See, then I'm a bit stuck. Oh no, I've got 3 Newcastle. Can I afford to go Mateta then? No. Or can I? No, 0.2 million off. I guess I could risk Dizazi. Feels a little bit risky though. There's no guarantee he starts. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I've still got Munot. Yes, sorry. Yes. Then Savinho comes in. So I could go something like that. Like, that's the benefit of Areola, right? And then basically you do Palmer to Saka, Isak to Watkins, and then Murphy to Rodgers. And then your bench is Areola against Southampton, Livramento against Villa away, Konza double game week, and Rodgers double game week. So like that kind of does work. That looks way better for the sake of one game of goalkeeper points. Yeah, kind of. I don't know if I want to bench boost 33 though. Feels risky. Hoping Konza's fit all that time. Probably be fine. I think that is basically the draft I was talking about on Twitter that Praz has, apart from he's got Foden instead of Savinho, which is madness. That's how much team value he's got over for me. Yeah, just Savinho. Like, the thing is, Man City have just got plenty of ways they could set up that just don't include Savinho. So I don't know. I just don't see me going for that. What time are the press conferences? They've been and gone. I mean, Maresca's will be tomorrow. I mean, Eze is good as well. Eze is not bad. 1.6 million. I could go Edison. Has anyone considered that? Is that madness? And then wait, hang on. Wait, oh, that is madness, isn't it? That is mad. He's only 0.3 million more than Martinez. Could I bench boost 33 then? Edison, Konza would be my bench. Livramento and Rodgers. That's madness, surely. Raya and Edison makes no sense. Also, I'd force myself into starting Edison this week, and then it'd just be pain when Leicester score their first goal in 25 years. Could I go Edison? Why have I not considered that up until this point, Edison and Raya? That's so much money on goalkeepers, though. That's so much money. And like, do I want to lock myself off from... getting like Foden or Savinho if something goes wrong elsewhere? You say it's too much on keepers, but I'm looking at what about Kusanov and Martinez instead of Konza and Edison? Well, I would probably go Ruben Diaz, but that would be more. I wouldn't be able to afford it. Don't think. Be close. What was it? So Ruben Diaz and oh yeah, how about Ruben Diaz and Martinez instead of Konza and Edison? Is that better though? The problem with Edison is like Ortega could just start at some point. Does that work? Let me have a look. I think I looked at this earlier and I think I can't afford. Yeah, 5.2. I can't afford it to go Ruben Diaz. Kusanov, I just think is a bit risky. I'm not sure. Am I watching the game this evening? Almost certainly, yeah. Why gain team value all season, not spend it on the doubles? What are you on about? If you had the money, would you go for Foden? Potentially. Foden's really nice. He's just a massive differential. Like, I don't really have any differentials in my team, I would say. Apart from I might have Edison soon. Just imagine if Ortega starts though. With wildcard 29 now being so far off the template, is it viable to use transfers for full 11 in 34 and free hit in 33 instead of multiple hits for 33 and free hit 34? Yes, depending on how your team is set up. I hate to sit on the fence, but that is what it's going to come down to. If you can get through 34 with transfers and free hit in 33 lets you get loads of doublers, that's great. I think that works for sure. Took a -8, so I need to desperately get my captain right this game. We have it on Marmouche, but can be persuaded I have Salah. Yeah, it's Salah or Marmouche. Salah's probably the safe, solid pick. Marmouche is probably the puntier pick. I mean, Isak's all right as well, but I quite like Marmouche against Leicester. Would to Mateta for a -4 or use Wanyeri or activate wildcard? It sounds like you're probably in a wildcard position there. Far more info. How do wildcard 30-31 differ in choice? I won't look at wildcard 31 until next week, to be honest with you. But gut instinct is, if the fixtures fall how we expect them to fall, wildcard 31 will look very similar. Maybe less Bournemouth because you'll have missed the Ipswich game. Yeah, pretty similar, I would imagine. Palmer and Savino plus 2.3 million or Saka and Foden plus 0. Long-term Saka and Foden, I think, but this week probably Palmer and Savino. Savino and Murphy or Rodgers and Gordon. Savino and Murphy, I think. Why not Foden instead of Palmer if they'll become Saka? Because I think Palmer's better. Like, Palmer's on penalties, remember that. Like, Foden probably isn't, even with Haaland out. It's quite close, I'd say, between... Like, if you can guarantee Foden's going to play, but... Like, would you be shocked if Pep Guardiola puts out a squad or a first 11 and it doesn't have Foden or it doesn't have Savino? Like, I don't think you can be shocked. I think it's less likely to happen now, but it's still a Man City attacker, right? Palmer's form is like, yeah, players go in and out of form all the time. Again, anytime someone says to me that a player's form is low, therefore you can't pick him, my question back is, when does form start and when does it end? How do you know when it's going to start again? Like, I said before the international break that Chris Wood hadn't scored in 4 games, therefore was out of form. Someone straight away said to me, yes, but he's had bad fixtures. Boom. Exactly. Fixtures matter. And Palmer's got good fixtures. Now, he's had good fixtures for a while, and he's blanked quite a lot, Southampton and Leicester. But I have faith that at some point he will turn it around. Also, like, if we're saying that you can't go Palmer because he's out of form and you've got to go for Foden, like, what's his recent record like? Benched against Brighton, blanked against Forest, benched against Spurs, blanked against Liverpool, blanked against Newcastle, blanked against Arsenal, 1 goal against Chelsea. That's Foden. Now, he did do pretty well before that. Like, if you can't pick Palmer because he's out of form, but you can pick Foden, who's been benched 2 of the last 3 and only has 1 goal in the last 7 game weeks. By the way, that's not me saying Foden's a bad pick. It's just I just think there's a lot of nonsense around Palmer. Foden's not 11 million. Neither's Palmer. Would you start Saka if you own? Probably. It would depend on my bench. If it was Saka versus Murphy, I'd be tempted to risk it with Saka. If it was Saka versus Evan Nielsen, I'd probably just go Evan Nielsen. Foden, Areola, Sarr, Timber, or Savino, Martinelli, Gabriel, Eze. Probably the last. Probably. Oh, Martinez. Sorry, not Martinelli. Probably the latter with Eze and Gabriel. If I get Areola for Martinez and I can afford both Gordon and Savino or Murphy and Foden, what will you suggest? Live stream has helped a lot. Thanks. Murphy and Foden, probably. I think it's more likely Foden gets better minutes than Savino. But I can't guarantee it, as you know. Saka had 6 training sessions in a game behind closed doors. He did, yeah. Spurs is a really good game for Palmer. Spurs won't sit back and invite Chelsea to break them down. Teams doing this is why Chelsea attack has tanked. Fingers crossed. I mean, Palmer's flagged. He might not even start. We have to hope that Maresca says he's fine tomorrow. That'd be quite funny, wouldn't it? If Foden smashed it and Palmer's just still out. Replacement for Chris Wood will be -4 or in Burmo off the bench. I would probably just play in Burmo. But if you want to replace Wood, I'd probably go Isak, Marmoush, Mateta in that order. If you find out that Saka starts, you put him in Palmer's place, and if so, where'd you spend the extra money? I probably wouldn't spend the money. There's not really anywhere to upgrade. Yeah. If I find out Saka starts, I might still start with Palmer, to be honest with you. No free hit and wildcard now advice. Make sure all your fringe players that haven't got doubles, just make sure they got good fixtures in 34 and that they're not blanking, basically. Otherwise, you're still setting up quite similarly in terms of 3 Palace, 3 Newcastle, few Arsenal players in there. And then save transfers until 34 because you're going to need them. Why not Milenkovic, third highest XG from defenders, good for 32 and a potential double? Well, that's why I had Nico Williams in because of those fixtures. But yes, Milenkovic is quite nice. I just might need that 0.8 million at some point. I don't know what for, but I might do. Thoughts on the new game mode? What new game mode? Start Clivert or in Burmo. Clivert's still in Burmo. Asensio instead of Sarr, no chance would I do that. Like, Asensio's not nailed. Sarr seems to be. And Sarr's got Southampton. Asensio has Forest. Not Forest. Brighton away. Sarr has a guaranteed double in 32. Probably another one in 33. Start Dunk or Konza or Burn. Burn this week. Alternative defender to Minoz that isn't Newcastle, City, Arsenal, Villa would prefer if they were doubling at some point. Well, a different Crystal Palace player. Yeah, a different Crystal Palace player, I guess. There ain't any other teams that may be going to double before 36. Villa, Arsenal, City. Villa, Arsenal, City. Who's the other one? Oh, Palace, yeah. So maybe a Bournemouth player like Howson or Kirkes. They're not guaranteed to double. Bench one of Palmer, Clivert, Mbeumo, Utara. Also, is Aina playing ahead of any of them? No. Well, maybe Clivert, but I'd probably just bench Clivert out of those. Because I think Palmer, Mbeumo, and Utara are pretty good. Any team news? Haaland's out 5 to 7 weeks. Clivert's a doubt. Want to do a captaincy poll? Marmoush captain for you. Maybe my captain. I mean, Salah's the safe pick. I feel like I should just go Salah. Like, he's just all-round solid. Game week 30 captain is... How long we got left? 43 minutes. Marmoush, Salah, someone else. Is there any other team news? Probably. Wan-Bissaka worth a punt versus Southampton for game week 33 bench boost. Yes. He's quite good for that week. Again, if Forest get through to the FA Cup final, he could then double in 36 as well. But the fixtures outside of that are not amazing, apart from game week 38. Thoughts on picking Rico Lewis instead of Vardiol? There's no chance I would do that. If I wasn't going Vardiol, I would just probably go not Man City. Like, Rico Lewis is just not nailed, I don't think. Even with the amount of injuries they've got. Like, presumably his minutes will be quite good, but I still wouldn't be shocked if he's benched. Best 4.4 or below, 5th defender for bench boost 33. How much? Not Wan-Bissaka, I don't think. He's 4.5, right? Yeah, 4.4 for bench boost 33. Konza, probably. Buy Foden and move him to Saka later, or start with Saka. Probably just buy Foden. Areola and Gordon or Murphy and Martinez. Raya is main goalkeeper. I still have bench boost left. Bench boost 33. Yeah. Murphy and Martinez, I think, either way. If we get new Saka starts, will you put them in? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just put him in. Who's the best replacement for Wood and Clivert? Isak and Sarr, probably. Thoughts on semi-automated offside technology? I don't really have too many thoughts. I think if it speeds the game up, great. That's about as far as my thoughts go. Any argument for going against Salah on wildcard? Not really. Maybe if you're absolutely skint team value-wise, you could possibly do it. Can you explain the Evan Nielsen pick again? I don't have enough money to go to Mateta, so it's him or João Pedro basically. Start Utara or Kluivert. I think I'd start Utara out of those two at this point. What would you do to your draft if you wanted to get Mateta in? I don't know if I want to go without him. Well, I'd build something like this, ish. Although I'm not sure I'm completely happy with it, but yeah, something like that. Who captains could wear dress if I lose? Salah probably is your safe pick. I think Savinho and Mateta are better than Evan Nielsen and Eze. It's not just Evan Nielsen and Eze. It's also no Munoz, or it's Munoz, but I've got to go. Yeah, it's probably no Munoz as well, which could be okay. Palmer captain being slept on. It feels a little bit risky with no press conference, to be honest with you. But if he starts, he's great, yeah. Is Wan-Bissaka an option for you? Good fixture in 33 and likely double 36. I don't think it's a likely double because you're relying on Forest to beat Man City, right? If you're bench boosting 33, he's fine. But if you're bench boosting 32, he's a bit rubbish, I think. Jack, thank you. You could go Saka over Palmer and afford Munoz. Yeah, but I'm only doing that if... Yeah, potentially. But then I got to go a different cheap goalkeeper like Verbruggen. I don't know. I think Mateta's great. I don't think he works for my team, but which defenders am I benching? That's really obvious, no? I feel like that's obvious. I wouldn't go De Bruyne. Not over Foden. Like if you're banking on who's going to get the most minutes out of those two, I think it's got to be Foden. Surely. Is Marmouche on penalties? We don't know, is the honest answer. I think there's a good chance he will get them, but nobody can guarantee you. 1 week pump, Munoz or Vardio? Ooh. Good question. I feel like I've got to say Munoz, but Vardio is at home and it is Leicester. But it is Southampton and it is Munoz. Munoz. It's really close. You could flip a coin, I think. Savinho, Martinez, or Edison and Rogers. Probably Savinho and Martinez. Paolo, thank you. You can see De Bruyne leaving Man City. I can see that at some point for sure, yeah. Who's on penalties for Bournemouth without Kluivert? Probably Evan Nielsen. Nick's FPS picks, gifted the membership. Thank you very much. ES got that. -4, Haaland to ease out or just move wildcard from 31 to 30. If there's other upgrades you can make, I would probably switch the wildcard. But otherwise, yeah, that -4 is not bad. Thoughts on having Kluivert on wildcard and benching him? I don't hate it, but really one of the reasons to have Kluivert is this fixture. Any Arsenal leaks? Not that I've seen. I wouldn't get your hopes up for Arsenal leaks because we haven't really had any regularly for a long time. Keep sales or transfer in Raya. Raya is better, I think, longer term now. Why can't I... for this draft, I've got 0.8 in the bank. Williams or Milenkovic? Milenkovic, I think, is better goal threat. Depends whether you can afford the money. Vardio and Agbadou and Palmer versus Kusanov and Konza and Sack. I think the Vardio Palmer one. Yeah, I wouldn't risk another Man City defender personally. Who am I benching? Again, like it's... I feel like my bench is obvious. Where's the dilemma for who to bench in this team? I know I've said that a lot now, but like it's super obvious, right? Back me up here. It's really clear who I'm benching out of this squad. Surely. When is the Aston Villa double game week? Probably in 33. Yeah, Nico Williams, Livramento, Murphy. Yeah, straightforward. Bench one of Canate, Gabriel, Kirkes, Vardio. That's got to be Canate, I think. Williams against Man United is a locked clean sheet. Possibly, yeah. Quite possibly. With the Clivert news, would you be tempted to start with Tara over Visser? Yes. Absolutely. 15 months, by the way. Thank you. Show us what you would do with 1 to 2 million more. I would just do Evan Nielsen to Mateta and probably Eze to Savinho or something like that. I wouldn't say it's really clear, but guessing Murphy. I think it's really clear. Sarr and Eze have got Southampton. Salah and Palmer are Salah and Palmer. Isak you ain't benching. Marmoush has got Leicester and Evan Nielsen's got Ipswich. Like Murphy's fine, but there's not even a slight consideration to play him over any of those attackers. And again, the defenders, you've got Gabriel is just solid. Munoz is Southampton. Vardio is Leicester. And Martinez is away to Brighton. Ray is home to Fulham. I think it's about as straightforward as it gets, I think, for who to bench. Why are we going Palmer over Saka? You don't have to do that. You can just get Saka if you want. Oh, apparently the semi-automated offside's coming in for game week 32. Maybe that's why someone mentioned it just a minute ago. Okay. Is this your wildcard or have you just had loads of subs? No, this is my wildcard. Yeah, I don't think anyone's saying Marmoush is a punt. Like, everyone owns him at this point. My goalkeepers are Alisson, Ward, 1.9 in the bank. What to do? Just play Alisson, I guess, right? Martinez, Savinho, Vardio, Palmer, or Areola, Foden, Diaz, Saka. The Martinez one, I think. Can also do Gabriel to Timber instead of Palmer to Saka as well to get Foden. No, I wouldn't do that, I don't think. Timber could be fine, but I just prefer Gabriel. Mateta captain. If you don't own... Yeah, he's probably fine captain, yeah. What's your reasoning for Palmer over Saka? I'm pretty confident Palmer will start. I can't be as confident about Saka. Plus, Palmer has Ipswich at home in game week 32. What information do we learn if we wait to wildcard next week? The information you're mostly waiting for now is confirmed double game weeks. But, like, I don't know. I suspect the predictors will be pretty correct. But I can't guarantee it, obviously. All my chips left and pretty well set up for 32, 33. Any suggestions? Oh, that's weird. Okay, I don't. Am I still live? I'm still live. The website just shut on me. YouTube just shut on me for some reason. I got a new computer recently. Apparently, it's not good enough to run Google Chrome. It seems. I'm still live. I'm still live. That's good. That's good. That's good. I don't really have too much interest in Solanke. I worry a bit about Spurs just prioritising Europa League. He'll probably continue to start, but I don't think it's worth it. Viz Academy, 25 months. Thank you. Best 4.4 sub keeper for the rest of the season. Probably bench boost in 35, 36. Oh my God. 35, 36. Oh, I haven't looked at that at all. I'm going to have to give it a really quick look now. 35, good fixtures. Oh, sugar. I've got to give my last man standing team for this week. Someone's just messaged me. Who have I not used? I've only used Chelsea and Liverpool so far. I've got to go Man City, haven't I? When would I want to use Man City again? I'm just going Man City. I can't bother to think about it. Man City, just like everyone else, I'm sure. Where was I? I got sidetracked then. YouTube has been crashing Chrome for me recently. Madness. Absolute madness. What's the chances for the FPL website to crash? It's been a while since the FPL website crashed. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Where was I? Someone asked a question. Oh, 35, 36. Oh, Jesus. I don't really know. For Bruggen, but he's 4.5. 4.4, like, who is there? Maybe Jose Sarr against Brighton. I don't even know how many other goalkeepers are on. Oh, what about Areola? Spurs at home. It ain't great, is it? I think it's maybe Jose Sarr against Brighton at home in 36. Potentially Areola in case he gets a double game week, but it's not guaranteed. Is Verbruggen a good option as second goalkeeper, or who would you recommend as an option for the bench boost? Yeah, Verbruggen's good for 32. Probably one of the best single game week goalkeepers that week. Diaz or Kirkes on bench boost 33. Already have Vardiel. I'd probably risk Diaz. Start Utara in Burmo. I think I'd risk Utara at this stage. Best assistant manager. I think I'd go Unai Emery or Glasner unless anyone's got any other recommendations. Is it a good thing having... Well, it depends when you're activating as well. Is it a good thing having both Edison and Raya for doubles coming up? I briefly considered Edison. But I think if I go Edison, I'm skipping to bench boost 33. So it'd be something like this. Just feels stupid. Who does Evan Nielsen have in 33? Palace away, right? It just seems real stupid. And this player and Nico Williams would be Konza. So again, it would be Palmer to Saka, Isak to Watkins, Jacob Murphy to Rodgers. So I'd have I'd only have one single game week player on the bench, which would be Evan Nielsen. But just imagine if Ortega plays. It just feels like way too much money. Am I going heavy on Palace because you think they will do well next week? I'm going heavy on Palace because they got probably 2 double game weeks coming up in Southampton this week. There's part of me that wants to go Edison, but I feel like I've not thought about it enough. And just bench boost 33. Is that really stupid? I feel like it's really stupid. Edison's madness, I think. So who have I got? Edison and Konza, right? Also, the other thing about going bench boost 33 is the doubles aren't confirmed. At least in 32, you know what you're getting. Yeah, exactly. That is worth remembering. We're building this team based on doubles that are not confirmed. Like, it's absolutely possible that they just don't fall how we want them to fall. Like, you should keep that in the back of your mind. I'd Hang on. Has Rob T put up his let's have a look. What's the clean sheet odds this week for Man City? 46%, 50% for Arsenal. Have I ever played Minecraft? Not really, I don't think. I probably have like played it for like 2 seconds or something. I think when my son used to play it, but not really. Let me Edison. Surely I just want to keep open a Man City spot. This is the part where I This is the part where I kind of wish I wasn't streaming, so I could just have a last like 25 minutes look at exactly what it's going to be over the next few weeks. The other problem with bench, no, it's not a problem as such, but the other problem with going like 33 bench pieces, you have a really good bench in 32, which won't feel great. Like I'd basically be benching Edison against Palace at home, Evan Nielsen against Fulham at home, Konza against Southampton away, and Vardy against Palace at home. And I'm not sure how good that feels, but the bench boost in 33 would look pretty nice. I'm just having a quick look at it here. Good old Bukayo Saka. Hang on, it would still only be 2 double game week players though. It would just be Konza and Edison with Livramento and Evan Nielsen. I don't think it's worth it. I really don't think it's worth it. Semenyo and Mateta or Eze and Evan Nielsen and White. Eze and Evan Nielsen. Semenyo's on 9 yellows. I wouldn't risk it. Saka and Konza versus Parma and Agbadu on wildcard. Free hit 31, 32. I mean, I haven't thought about free hit 31, 32 at all. Long term, probably Saka and Konza. Thoughts? Ray, Gabriel, Munoz, Vardy or Saka. Yeah, again, all looks great. You've got lots of the players that everyone's looking at. You really can't go wrong with most wildcard picks this week. Like, genuinely. But I'm not getting Edison. I've kind of decided I'm not getting Edison. Did I have Martinez before? I can't even remember now. I'm so lost. Is a -4 worth it if wildcarding next week Gibbs, White and Wood to Marmoush and Sarr? Well, it is if it makes your team better, but I guess you've got to question whether you should wildcard instead. But it's a bit late to be thinking about wildcarding, I would say. Foden, Evan Nielsen or Savinho and Watkins? Probably Savinho and Watkins. Careful with any team leaks, it's April Fools. True. Bench 1, Murphy, Sarr, Semenyo. Who would I captain? Salah or Marmoush, I think. Bench 1, Sarr. Oh, Murphy, definitely. 100%. Bench headache. Start 8 Nuri or Nico Williams. Probably 8 Nuri. Start Clive or Utara. Trippier over Livramento if money's no issue. Sure, but money could become a issue down the line. What are the best picks for captain? I mean, Salah exists, right? So it's probably just Salah. Would you start Clive or Howson? Ooh, I guess I'd go Howson in that case, just for the certainty. Why is April Fool's even a thing? I don't know, and I'm going to sound like a grumpy old man. It's honestly one of the most tedious days of the year because everyone puts out terrible jokes, which are not funny. Because to be a good April Fool's, you should not know it's an April Fool's. Whereas every time you think, yeah, okay, this is another really rubbish joke. We know it's an April Fool's. Like it's just so boring. But I am just a grumpy old man, so maybe everyone else loves it. But yeah, it's just it's just a bunch of people putting out a load of rubbish which no one believes. It's like, oh, that's great. It's really great. Thanks for that joke. Like, dad jokes are better than April Fool's jokes. April Fool's is anti-comedy. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Like, I've not seen a single April Fool's today that I thought was funny. It's just like it's just a load of rubbish that you know is not true. I did see someone, shout out to TMD in Discord, someone's dentist emailed them and said you've got free dental treatment for a year, and then said, only joking, it's April Fool's, here's our offers. Which is just insane. Someone said Saka confirmed. Saka confirmed what? Saka confirmed in the squad. Saka confirmed to start. What's this confirmed? Anyway, we've only got 20 minutes to the deadline. I've got a wild card. Probably shouldn't be complaining about April Fools. What about Game Week 34? You can't have 11 players. I can with a free hit, yeah. Rate my wildcard: Raya, Areola, Gabriel, Munoz, Gabriel, Livra, Menso, Konza. Yeah, it looks great. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Why not? Who's the best 4.3 million defender on wildcard? Is it Dizazi? Probably not. Lewis Dunk if you're bench boosting 32. 6.8 million midfielder that isn't Palace or Newcastle. Savinho maybe. Start Henderson or Raya / Aina or Munoz. Raya and Munoz, I think. Pick one of Dunk, Van Heck, Howson, wildcard 30, bench boost 32. Van Heck for the safety, Dunk for the value. Was my ciabatta in April Fools? No, it was really nice. Turkey, brie, cranberry, decent. Remove Milenkovic, bought 4.6 for Konza. Thoughts? Probably okay if you're bench boosting 33. Who is the best 10.2 million midfielder selling in Burmo? Who is the best 10.2 million midfielder selling in Burmo? Oh, 10.2. Saka, probably. Saka is walking. Amazing. I'd hope so if he's in consideration for tonight. Imagine if he wasn't walking yet. I've got to go to the loo. I'm not gonna make it to the deadline. I'm back in 2 secs. Hello. What's up, everyone? My name is Chair. Welcome back. This toilet breaks April Fools. Absolutely not. Okay. Foden and Saka or Savinho and Palmer. Foden and Saka probably longer term. Maybe not great this week. Start Sells and Milenkovic or Verbruggen and Bruno Fernandes. Verbruggen is home to Villa. Sells is home. Probably Sells and Bruno. If that makes sense. Would you bench Palmer and or Clivert for Visser? I'd maybe bench Clivert for Visser, but not Palmer, no. One of Howson, no, definitely Howson. Play João Pedro or Palmer. Palmer, who's my vice captain? Whoever I don't captain out of Marmoush and Salah. Who's the... Oh, yeah, no. Did I wash my hands? Of course. Start Raya or Henderson? Probably Raya, I think. It's quite close, though. It feels weird benching someone that's playing Southampton, right? Would you do Palmer to Salah for a -4? Probably not, no. How would you save 2.8 million in your currency? I'd probably sell Palmer to someone cheaper. Seems the easiest route, most obvious. I really want to captain Marmoush just to make this boring. He pick, not boring. I think it's fine. Okay. I quite like Pope and Rodgers instead of... I quite like Pope and Rodgers instead of Martinez and Murphy. Will Rodgers definitely start against Southampton? The guy has started every single game so far. Every single game. He's on 8 yellow cards, though. Will Nick Pope get rotated? I don't think so. Rodgers plays 90 minutes quite a lot. Will he play against Southampton? See, if I go for this... Oh, but... Do I want to go for Konza, though? Yeah, but I could go for a different double game week goalkeeper later. Matoma... I got to be honest, I feel like... The fact that people are starting with Saka but then questioning... I guess you're saving a transfer. I kind of get it, but there's a lot of people not even sure whether to start. It makes me wonder why people have got him in their squad. Mateta or Marmoush for a 1 week punt wildcard in 31. I mean, at this point, Mateta's probably lower ownership, but I think Marmoush just because it's Leicester at home. Matoma or Murphy? Probably Murphy. Dizazi to use the money elsewhere. He's starting. If he keeps starting, yeah, but I don't think there's a guarantee. You then have no double goalkeeper in 36. But I might not have a double goalkeeper in 36 if I go for Martinez. Like, it's not a guarantee, right? Also, I would be doing Murphy to Rodgers in game week 33. So I'd use it if I go for Martinez. I might have a 36 goalkeeper, but I might not. And I'm having to get Rodgers in 33 to use a transfer. Whereas this way, I've got Rodgers for 33, so I don't need to use a transfer. And then in 36, if there's a double game week goalkeeper I get, I can just pick up whichever one I need. So I think Pope and Rodgers has... The main difference is Rodgers will have a double in 33, we know. Pope, I'm then selling to a double game week goalkeeper in 36, and I'm just picking the best one for my team at the time. Does that make sense? Whether I go Martinez and Murphy or Pope and Rodgers, there's a transfer to be used. It's either used in 33 or it's used in 36. And so I feel like it's better to set my team up pretty well for 33. But then Murphy will probably smash it. Because Raya's really good outside of 36. He's pretty decent, right? So pick up the right goalkeeper, bench Raya. Because if I... Yeah. I don't know. I'm semi-tempted to go like this, honestly. I don't know if Kon's is the right pickup. I don't know if Kon's is the right player to have, though. No, I think he is. Southampton away. Potential double. Even though it would be a pretty bad one. FPL community really needs Arsenal leakers. Yeah. Does it matter when in the week you activate the wild card? Well, if you want to chase team value and stuff, you want to do it as early as possible. Like, if you know you're going to wildcard in 31, you should just do it straight after the deadline. Gordon and Savino plus 0.7 or Murphy and Foden minus points. Gordon and Savino or Murphy and Foden? Probably Murphy and Foden. Liverpool predicted 2 goals, City 3 goals. Why not Marmoush captain? Yeah, but what if Salah scores the 2 goals and Marmoush scores none? Like, they're both good captains. Saka also has assist potential as well. Probably less so for Marmoush. Munoz or Mateta for third Palace. I mean, in isolation, I expect Mateta to score more points, but there's also quite a few forward options. It depends whether you like the defenders that are not Munoz. Valdemarson 3.9 instead of Martinez 5. Well, Martinez is kind of handy for later on, more so than Valdemarson, I would say. But if you don't have bench boost, sure. Why no one have Kirkez? Just other defenders being picked. Like, he's fine, but not like most people have got an Arsenal, City, and maybe a Palace defender this week, so you don't really even have space to play Kirkez. Wildcard 31, Haaland to Marmoush. Do I also -4 for Foden? Probably not. I think if at that point you probably should just wildcard, right? Kluivert or Savinho? Savinho at this point. This would be bench boost 32. Yes, bench boost 32. So my bench in 32 would be Konza, Vardiol. So Southampton away, Crystal Palace at home. Rodgers, I guess. And then Raya. I don't know. When I was out walking the dog earlier, I just suddenly thought that Pope and Rodgers is the same transfers as Martinez and Murphy. But I don't know. I don't know. It is ridiculous, right? I've thought about this like the last couple of days, and I always with wildcard, I feel like I've just never thought about it enough. I just feel like I've never ever given it enough thought, which is mad. I could spend another 2 days and not probably get to a draft that I'm completely happy with. I just think this draft requires less transfers before game week 34, and maybe that's a better position to put myself in. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't even know what I just said. I don't know what I just said before I said I could be wrong. Like that's how much I'm all over the place. Bradley versus Leicester away and Emmy double game week for bench boost 33. Yeah, could work as long as Bradley's fit by then, which hopefully he will be. You missed my super chat, Vivek. New member, thank you very much. Reece James on wildcard, no chance. I just probably wouldn't go there. Cole, if you need to. What's Kusanov's situation in a nutshell? Probably going to play a lot, but I wouldn't guarantee he's starting every single week. Super chat missed Jack Lucas. Did I miss that? That must have been. Oh, bench 1 of Wood. I'm pretty sure he's out. Bench 2, Gabriel Milenkovic, Kirkes, Minoz, Gabriel. There's 2 Gabriels there. I'd definitely bench Milenkovic. I like Munoz, Kirkes, Gabriel. You're probably playing. If it's Vardiol, then I'd probably bench Gabriel, maybe. Also bench Pope or Sarr. Sarr, I think. Would you do Palmer to Salah for mine? Oh, yeah, did that one. Why no Mateta? I just don't have the money. Why Palmer? Because I want a good swap to Saka later on. Bench Murillo or Nori Murillo. Right, I need to think about this now. I need to get this wild card locked in. I'm pretty sure I'm going without Mateta. I'm pretty sure I'm going to regret it, just like last season when Mateta absolutely smashed me all throughout the double game week in 34. I just need to give this a quick bit of thought. So no super chats for a second. Let me just think about this. Let's see if I'm in a terrible position. If I had Murphy, even if I go for Murphy, I don't think I'm going to start him against Leicester away. How much is Jacob Murphy just going to absolutely annihilate me as well? I'm just worried about everything. Okay, Liverpool. Double Newcastle defence. Is that okay with Pope? Probably is, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Game week 33. Watkins and Saka. I'd already have Rodgers, so I wouldn't need to. So I wouldn't need to make an extra transfer. So I'd only be using 2 transfers in 33. A free hit in 34. And then in 34. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to go Pope, I think. I'm going to go Pope and Rodgers and hope it saves me a transfer. And just hope that Martinez and Murphy doesn't absolutely smash me. Who am I benching? And there's not too many good options at all. Like again, it's pretty like Rodgers, Konza, Livramento, Pope. Like it picks itself. Like, it really is quite obvious, I think. Like, look at the fixtures and the players to choose from. Missing anyone? Raya, Areola, Gabriel, Kirkes, Vardiol, Minoz, Milenkovic, Murphy, Sarr, and Burmo. Matete, not really. Looks really strong. When is Man City supposed to double? 33, hopefully. Be funny if they don't, though. How much am I going to regret not going for Murphy? How am I in a position where I'm worried about Murphy now? Basically, in game week 32, I'm going to have Rodgers and Pope instead of Murphy and Martinez. Which is better? Martinez clean sheet against Southampton away. Man United at home, Palace at home for Murphy. Will Rodgers maybe get benched? Like, it does feel a bit risky going Konza and Rodgers when everyone keeps telling me they could both get rotated. When did Murphy get so... You've only got 5 minutes. Christ. Start Saka or Palmer. Palmer, I think. The thing is Rodgers a risk? Is he a risk? He started every single game he's been available for. Every single one. But if you're going to rest him, you're going to do it against Southampton, aren't you? Whereas Martinez and Murphy probably not going to get rotated. But then it's an extra transfer in 33. And only if Villa double later on is that saved a transfer. Bench one of Kirkes, Gabriel, Munoz, or Vardiol. Bench one of Kirkes, Gabriel, Munoz, or Vardiol. I'm actually going to say Gabriel out of those. He played the cup game. I mean, he just never gets benched. I've not seen any Saka news so far. I don't know which way to go. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? All right, hang on a second. I've got no money stored up in Murphy, Rodgers, etc. So I can just set the team. I've not even saved this team yet. By the way, this means I'm not going Mateta because I have money wrapped up in him, so I definitely won't be able to afford it now. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. I might captain Marmoush. Why not? Why not? Even though Salah will absolutely smash it. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm all over the place now. Last minute panic on wildcard. This is it now. My season could be over after this. I should just cap Salah. Salah hasn't got many points, has he? 15, 6, 14, 12, 8, 13, 16, 8. Yeah, it's not that many. Marmoush is in form. He just got 12 points. Everton will part the butt. Yeah, they will, but Salah's very good at football. Yeah, so that's the only problem. And it means I won't want to watch the Liverpool game at all. I don't even know if Martinez is the right call. Who's the other options there? Edison and Henderson. And I want to go Minoz, so I can't go Henderson. Edison, no. So Martinez is fine. Martinez, Murphy. Oh, I don't want Konza. I don't want Konza if I'm doing this. Oh my god. Oh, now I'm confused now. Do I go for Nico Williams or Dunk? Dunk's pretty useless after game week 32, I think. I'm gonna go Nico Williams, I think. Oh my god, this is dying. This is getting bad now. Uh, 1 minute 35. Hasn't crashed for me. I don't know if that's the right call. I'm just going to captain Marmoush, honestly. I'm just going to go for it. Why not? I hope he's on penalties. You've had 2 weeks to sort this out. Well, not really. We had to wait for the FA Cup results, so we've only had a couple of days. I'm not sure about the Nico Williams pick. I can't change it now, because if I change Martinez, Nico Williams, and Murphy, I've got to change to Rogers, Pope, and Konza. Konza could have a double later on as well. Oh, I might try and change it. I might just try and last minute change it and see if it works. I haven't got enough time. No, not Martinez, Pope. Pope. Rogers. If Rogers gets benched, I'm going to look like such an idiot, though. I haven't got enough time. I don't think I've got enough time. Konza. 2 seconds. It's not going to save. Nah, that didn't go through. Never mind. It hasn't crashed. It's just the deadline. There we go. So I'm locked in on this team. I don't think that went through. I don't think the moves went through. I'm Marmoush captain. That's gonna definitely not go well at all. Ah. Yeah, I probably did miss some super chats. Sorry, I was trying to sort my team out. Bowen or another midfielder. It's probably too late now. I probably wouldn't have gone for Bowen on wildcard, but he's okay. Why not Saka instead of Palmer? Because Saka might not start. Hopefully Palmer will. I think I got the other ones. All right, I'm locked in. I'm locked. Yeah, I think. By the way, I think Martinez and Jacob Murphy is absolutely fine. It just uses an extra transfer, and I've got to hope nothing bad happens now until 33. Who's saying that Saka's benched? Or are you just saying that now because the deadline's gone? Oh. FPL Harry's saying he's benched. Maybe. Maybe he is them. You just don't care from LA to the Bay. What you say? I need to do. Leaked lineups on Instagram. Is it? Do I follow him? Can't remember if I do. I don't think I follow him. No, I don't follow him. So I don't think I can see it. People keep saying you had 16 days to decide. I didn't look at my wildcard team at all, like for 2 weeks, because what was the point? There was no like. If Bournemouth had beaten Man City, this wildcard team would look a lot different, right? I need to do the sleeper draw for. I also owe someone a voucher that messaged me like 20 days ago, so I'll try and get to that soon. But I need to do the draw for game week 29. So I just need to look up the 2 names. I think there was only 2 people that got 9 correct in game week 29. Let me just bring up the table here. Yeah, there was no point looking at it until the FA Cup games. You were making videos every day. What are you on about? I literally made 2 videos in 2 weeks. I did a stream on the Sunday and I did a wildcard video on like the Wednesday or Thursday, and that was it until Sunday just gone. So we can activate the wildcard for 31 after 90. Yeah, whenever FPL's back up, you can activate the wildcard. Wasn't Izak the better captain over Marmoush? Possibly. Possibly. Oh, sorry, 8 correct predictions for game week 29. So that was... Am I on 29? Yes. So that was... Shield 07 and Muro 004. Okay. Let me just... Studio mode. Oh, look at this. Honestly, this is just great production value. All right, let's have a look at this. Is Marmouche on penalties? Hopefully, but we don't know for sure. Muro004, you're going to win a £50 Amazon voucher. I'm going to message you on the Sleeper app. Probably after this stream, but it might be a few days. I'm a little bit slow sometimes. I just need your email address to send the voucher. If you want to be in with a chance to win a voucher, make sure to check out Sleeper using the link in the description below. Join the Let's Talk FPL Mini League and get your predictions in for Game Week 30. Because why not? Before the games start. You should have wildcarded in 29. No, I don't think I should have, actually, in the end. Well, in the end, I got lucky. I think I probably should have wildcarded in 29, but the outcome of not wildcarding was probably better overall. Why Martinez over Kepa? Great point. Great point. Come on, lads. The Marmouche injury stuff's not funny. Not funny. Right. I'm off. Thank you very much for joining me. Make sure to give the stream a like if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button. I'll be back probably not until Thursday now for videos. So nice to get a break after all that break. Did I know the website already closed? Yeah, the deadline was 5 minutes ago. Right, I'm off. Like I said, thanks for joining me. Good luck this week. Hopefully my wildcard goes well. I could do with a green arrow. I'm glad FPL's back. I'm not quite glad that I captain Marmouche, but we'll see what happens. There's nothing about Marmouche all over Twitter, by the way, because it'll be everywhere. And also, even if he's out, it's really not the end of the world. I'll just get Murphy off the bench and just figure it out, you know? Right. You always bite on troll comments. I don't know if I do. I mean, I sometimes acknowledge them, but biting, probably not. Right. Goodbye. See you later. I'm off. I'll catch you again on Wednesday. No, probably Thursday. See you later.